Next, we'll be looking at a featured artist. I've chosen this artist today because of her use of colour and how it can help us understand a little bit more about colour without it being too complicated. So our artist is Etel Adnan, and she is a Lebanese artist who was born in 1925. She is still alive and still painting, well into her 90s. And here on the right, we've got one of her paintings. It is what looks like a landscape with very simplified forms and vibrant colours. So here is Etel. She's painting there. Lots of tubes of paint around her. She seems to be just painting at her dining room table. No fancy studio or anything. And here is one of her paintings. You can see that her forms are simplified. They hint at a landscape, but they're also abstract paintings. What's interesting is how she uses colours. In here, the colours really vibrate. They are flat, so you don't see any tonal difference in the shapes, in the colour shapes. But she's using it in a way that most people can relate to. Here is another one of her paintings. Again, vibrant colours, but in this she has also juxtaposed those vibrant colours with more muted colours. It's another photograph of her painting in a studio, looking very absorbed in her work. Here is a painting that it symbolises a landscape. It looks like a big sun in the sky there, but what's interesting is those colours she used. So the sky is yellow, the sun is green, and the earth is red. The combination of these colours is not natural in a sense, but still they are selected carefully. Here is another one which is definitely more towards a landscape painting. Again, you see those vibrant colours bouncing off the more muted colours. Etel Adnan says of her work, she is also a poet, by the way, a very distinguished Lebanese poet and a painter. Abstract art is the equivalent of poetic expression. I didn't need to use words, but colours and lines. So she relates her painting very much to her poetry and its simplicity in colour and form and line. This painting by Etel has got a little bit more texture to it. It's a beautiful painting called Sea and Fog. Now they're very sea-like colours and the grey very fog-like. We're going to have a closer look at the colours she used in this painting. At the bottom, beneath the picture, I've actually extracted the colours, and you can see there it goes from a deep, deep blue, almost a purpley blue, all the way through to a teal turquoise colour. And on the left we can see our colour wheel, and this colour wheel is similar to the one we saw before, yet I've shown the colour range that she has used. This combination is called analogous colours. That means colours next to each other on the colour wheel, used in a painting to create a sense of harmony. One can use a combination of any colours close to each other. So for example, red, orange, yellow, or green, yellow, blue, blue, green, yellow. Here is another painting by Etel, and in this one she's using the blues again, so we see that as analogous, but also there's this bright orange dot or sun, circle. This is something called complementary colours. So complementary colours are colours that are opposite each other on the colour wheel. So here we can see that blue is opposite orange. So in this case, she's used that analogous blue, different shades of blue, and then put a complementary orange in the painting. Complementary colours are very interesting. They are yellow and violet, red and green. Again, anything directly opposite on the colour wheel. They're interesting because when placed together, the colours seem to really accentuate its complementary. A funny quirk of these colours, and we can see this in the bottom here, in this greyish blue, is that when you add two complementaries together on your palette, you mix them together and you add a little bit of white. Those two strong colours actually cancel each other out to create what is called a neutral colour or neutral grey. This can be used to great effect in paintings. So that is complementary, and you will often see it in works of art, red and green, yellow and violet, to create very vibrant paintings through the use of complementaries. We see in this here, in this next painting, that she's actually using a double complementary. So not only has she got the blue and the orange, so you can see the circle at the bottom is a dark blue, and then the big circle is orange. She's also using another complementary combination. So violet for the background, and then yellow for the yellow line across the larger circle at the top. You could even add another complementary in there, red and green, although that might be too much. And again, if you look at the bottom, you have that grey colour. So that would be mixed by adding two of those complementaries together, mixing them up, thus cancelling out the vibrancy of each colour, but also creating a grey or a muted colour that still fits within the painting. So complementary colours opposite each other on the colour wheel. So our exercise for this part of the workshop is to, with Etel Adnan in mind, is to create a painting in the style of Etel Adnan. This can be in your own style, inspired by her, or it can be based on some of these simple drawings I've done, which look like her paintings. So on your paper, just sketch out either one of these or make up your own one. And then with some of the colours that we've learnt about earlier, the primaries and the secondaries, create your own picture. You'll soon find that even though Etel's paintings look simple on the surface, getting those colours to work together is not always that simple. So have a go at working with your primaries, your secondaries, and maybe throw in some complementary colours, or maybe work with analogous colours. There are no rules to it. Just have fun, get to know your colours, and see where it takes you.